here's the completed build. And what do you think, guys? I think it's come out alright, don't you? Yeah, it's not too bad. So yeah, let's just go over the parts quickly before we jump into those benchmarks and just talk about the case a little bit, as we kind of usually do in these sort of videos. So the build again was just really simple and easy. Loads of room for cable management at the back, so don't even be concerned about that at all. That's fine. We also have a 6-port ARGB hub at the back, so I've added these 2 fans here, which are actually the thermal right ones. I was going to add 3, but the third one didn't work for some reason, so I think that was just a faulty fan. So I've just gone with 2 here, and then obviously that bit at the bottom there you're not going to see anyway, so that's fine. We've got a Ryzen 5 1600, so pretty decent, 6-core, 12-thread, nothing special, but really for this sort of PC it's perfectly fine. MSI B450 Tomahawk Max motherboard, so that was actually really nice. I think I actually got that one for only £50, that motherboard, so that's actually a really good price for that motherboard. And then our GTX 980. Now we might potentially upgrade the 980 at a later date, but yeah, I think for now this is a perfectly fine gaming PC for basic 1080p low settings gaming. Now obviously in things like Cyberpunk and then obviously Starfield, as we know, the 980 really struggles, but the 980 can do Cyberpunk around about 60 FPS at 1080p low, so it isn't too bad. But yeah, I mean obviously I would like to upgrade the graphics card, but it is what it is, and it's okay. It will do. 16 gigabytes of RAM as well, so that's pretty fine. Yeah, and like I say, the actual case really easy to build in. Just a really great case. I mean, it's got everything that you want. The mesh at the front here, which is really nice. I've added those 2 ARGB fans, and obviously it has the hub at the back, so you can do that. Fan at the back, which is ARGB as well. There's no thing to run your PCIe cable, which is a little bit of a annoying thing. There's no hole for that, but again, that's not really a big thing nowadays. You can get around that. They did have the snap-off PCI blanking plates as well, but again, the MSI MAG FORGE 111R or 111R is actually a really good case. Or I would recommend you get the 112R though, because that has the fans at the front, the 4 fans, well the 3 fans at the front with the one at the back pre-installed, so you don't have to add them yourself. But it does cost a little bit more than this case, so that's one to think about. But yeah, overall, yeah, I think we've got a sweet little build, and let's go and check out those gaming benchmarks, eh guys? So here we go, Fortnite up first for the benchmarks here for the GTX 980 with the Ryzen 5 1600. 1080p unlimited frame rate, and we are on high currently, so we'll go down to low. So we'll see when we get down. We'll start the benchmark, but at the moment we're sitting about 80 or so FPS on 1080p low, so that's not bad. So let's start the benchmark now. So we're sitting about 100 FPS or so, just about 135 or so. A lot of drops. There's the 12 FPS drop down there on the 1% low, 0.1% of 8 FPS. Although we are sticking round about the 100 or so for the average, or about 120 or so there. So that's not bad for 1080p Fortnite. I mean, obviously if you've got a 1440p, well no, sorry, if you've got a 144 Hz monitor, obviously then this wouldn't be well, it's playable, but not at the 144. So yeah, well, it's kind of getting there for the 144, but it's just a little bit off. You would probably have to go down to 720p or 900p or something. The PC is a little bit noisy. I don't know whether that's going to pick it up on the camera. It is actually a little bit noisy. I think the power supply that I've used here, I'll be honest, it isn't the best, and I think it is making a little bit more of a noise than I kind of want to, but it was only a very cheap power supply. I think I only got that one for 20 quid, so kind of want to just keep going with it, although probably it does need replacing actually, but it should be fine. I mean, I don't really want to have to replace it, but we'll see how things go. If I'm not comfortable with it, I won't sell it with this power supply, but we'll see. But overall, it is doing well, the PC, about 150 odd there FPS. Fortnite does seem to be playable enough. I mean, obviously Fortnite always has the stutters anyway, so whatever PC that is on. But yeah, Fortnite is playable. There we go, I guess you got him. Our GPU is doing pretty well here, 68, 67 degrees centigrade, not too bad. Fairly cool. The usage is not actually, it's not actually 100%, but it's not far off, so it's not too bad. Our CPU is sitting at a nice sort of 50 degrees as well, and we're only using about 10% of the CPU, so plenty of headroom there for the CPU. The Ryzen 5 1600 isn't the best. It certainly isn't the best 6-core 12-thread CPU around, and it is quite old now, the architecture, but it will still do. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider is next, 1080p low, 1080p GTX 980, 1080p low. Those are all the settings there, so we're just going to run the benchmark. Okay, sitting about 90 FPS at the moment, getting into 100 now. Full utilization on our GPU, which is nice, and only about 25% usage on our CPU, so that's not bad either. Temperature wise, we're all keeping good there as well. Only using about just under 8 gigabytes of our 16 gigabytes DDR4 memory, 3200 megahertz. So about 80 now FPS. I mean, this is certainly playable 1080p low on this system, but you kind of respect that. This is a slightly older game now, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so and we're getting a really good FPS now, over 100 actually. Well, just dropped out under that now, but yeah, this certainly playable, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 1080p on this system. 1080p low, sorry. So overall, on Shadow of the Tomb Raider 1080p low on this system was a minimum of 73, a maximum of 176, and an average of 100 FPS. So 100 FPS average, 1080p low. That's pretty respectable, I think, even for an older graphics card like the 980, and this sort of little bit of an older system with the Ryzen 5 1600. It's quite a good pairing actually. The CPU and the GPU do pair quite well here. But let's move on to Cyberpunk now. So Cyberpunk 2077. Let's have the quick preset at low. This is 1080p video, 1080p full screen. So we'll have low here, and those are all the settings there. And then just run benchmark. Okay, it's not quite there, but we're in the 50s. Full utilization on our GPU again, so I don't think we've got any bottlenecks with the CPU and GPU here. I think they combine quite well, and I think they balance out each other quite well here. They're kind of quite evenly matched, so that's fine there. Yeah, about 50 or so at 1080p low is a little bit low, but I think when we go outside here, it should come up. There we go. The frame rate's starting to come up now into the 70s there. I mean, we should get a 60 FPS average here. So a 1080p low on the GTX 980, that is actually quite a good result, I think. Again, this system is quite cheap, really, when you think about it. It's not that much more expensive than an entry-level GPU to actually buy off the shelf new. You know, that's probably about 150 at least now, even for like the 3050 6GB version. So, you know, this is an expensive system more. So to get these results is respectable, I think. Okay, so we've got 58 FPS average, which is pretty good. Minimum of 45 and maximum of 73. So, yeah, not bad. You know, we've only got a 4GB GTX 980, so we've got nothing special there, but that's certainly playable, I think, in my opinion anyway. I mean, really anything above 30 FPS average is playable, but I think near enough 60 FPS there is perfectly fine. Obviously, you couldn't go any higher than that. You couldn't go into medium settings or anything, but overall, yeah, I think that's a good result. And overall, I think we've got a nice little PC here that we'll try and flip for a little bit of money. Hopefully, get around 300, or at very least, I think I'll take 275 for it. I think that's what I'm kind of going to aim for. Overall, I think, you know, I hope you did like the video, guys. Obviously, leave a like, leave a comment on what you think on my little build, and do you think it's good value for money, and do you think I could have changed anything or what have you? And just let me know what you think, and please subscribe to see my future videos. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.